Nicola Sturgeon has said it is when, not if, in terms of the next independence referendum. How soon are we likely to see that? I know we're talking about post-pandemic, etc. But how quickly is Scotland going to go to the polls again, do you believe, about independence?
Well, I think we've been very clear, and certainly the message through the campaign, not just from ourselves but from our opponents as well, was that a vote for the SNP or a vote for the other independent supporting parties was a vote for another independence referendum. Now, you're absolutely correct. The priority is, of course, to get through the pandemic and make sure that that recovery is on track. But as soon as that is, we're past that point, then we would be looking at moving forward with another independence referendum. Now, clearly, that will depend on how the recovery progresses, but I think that it would be realistic to say that that could quite possibly be in the first half of this 5-year parliament.
OK. Boris Johnson is appealing for people to think about unity and all that kind of stuff. It does look, from the polls, and I'm aware of exactly where you stand in terms of your one seat short of a majority, but with the Greens you definitely have a pro-independence majority in Holyrood.
Yep.
But it looks, according to the polls, like it's about 50-50 really in favour of independence. And we saw how divisive Brexit has been for the rest of the UK. Are you concerned at all that if you do go for another referendum, that this will be a very divisive and will have that kind of impact on Scottish society that could be negative?
Well, it's called democracy, and the people need to make a decision. So I think the worst situation would be to continue without clarity on what the will of the people of Scotland is. So they've clearly expressed a will to have the right to choose and to have that referendum, and we saw that in the results last week. And it's therefore right that the people should be given that choice, and then they would have that the ability to look at the arguments on both sides and make their mind up. And I think we've seen a very a shift in the UK government's position over the last couple of days. Michael Gove yesterday made it clear that they didn't expect that they would take us to court over this issue, which is good, and they're talking very much about working together through recovery, which is absolutely correct.
Because you don't want to have a vote that isn't recognised. Can I ask you one last question before I let you go, Evan? Should you have a referendum, supposing you have it in 2023, for example, and supposing it fails, supposing independence does not hold sway, is that the end of Scottish independence, or is that not how the SNP view it?
Well, that'll be up to the people of Scotland at some future date. I think I can't get the quote exactly right, but I think it was a famous Irish politician that it's not up to nobody's got the right to stand in the way of the will of the nation. So we shall see what the future holds.
Look, thank you very much for speaking to us this morning. That is Ivan McKee, their SNP politician and Minister in Scotland for Trade, Innovation and Public Finance.